Hey y'all, how are you? So I was giving everyone a little bit of a chance to jump on and it hadn't happened. And so I've committed to you guys to come on a team call every single week, even if nobody shows up, because I feel like that I know people are going to. I know that our team is going to grow. And if I have anything of value at all, I want to share it. So I feel like there is a delay in this connection. So that's no fun. And I don't know what to do about it. I've got good connection. I'm at home. I don't know. I'm going to keep going, and hopefully the recording is not going to be all but like jacked up. So, okay. It is October the 26th, and today there's something that I have been learning about recently, or just like improving on, and I feel like it is worth me sharing, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm just not at peace because there's clutter, and I always tell myself I'm all over the place. If you know me, how many times have you heard me say I'm all over the place? And that's usually because my mind is cluttered. It has so much going in it, and I can't think of what needs to go out of it, and I'm just all disorganized and cluttered in my mind. Well, I'm learning. My dear mentor, Terry, you guys know I went to her event, and she is promoting one of her books right now. Let me grab it. It's actually underneath here. Declutter Your Way to Success. The funny thing is that I've always considered myself disorganized and all over the place. I am disciplined, and I am my own mind. The things that I feel like I know I need to do, I'm going to get them done, and I'm going to get them done well. I like to have a plan, but I'm not rigid in that. Sometimes if I go off the plan, it's a little chaotic and I'm a little moody. But I've just always felt like I'm just not ever going to be that organized person. I'm not ever going to be that I don't know, I guess it's mainly organized. And I even had gone as far as to say, God, you're going to have to send me people who are organized. Now, I still believe that He's going to send me people to help me in the areas that I am weak. But what I'm learning is that things in my house and the way I'm living my life is often clutter and disorganized. Therefore, I feel disorganized and in a clutter all the time. And so I was already feeling a little convicted about what areas in my life could I improve on. And you guys know I'm pretty disciplined with my workouts. I'm disciplined with my Jesus time. I'm disciplined with basically with my business. I take action and I do things. But there was still a little bit of a disconnect, and I knew that the Lord was kind of tugging me in the area of organization. And I get overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed trying to be organized because I don't really think that way. And I often feel like it's going to take too much time, and I can't do that. Such as, like Adrian talked about, Google Streak. Well, I've heard about it. I've had it uploaded into my computer for a long time, but I actually have felt so overwhelmed with getting it started that I just refuse to do it. So that gives you an idea of where I am at in some other things in my life. I just get overwhelmed, like, I'll just brush off and do the best I can with what I have, right? But basically, Terry brought it home and told me, Chanel, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. The way you do anything. That clutter, that disorganization in this thing is going to carry over into this thing. That laziness in this thing is going to carry over to become lazy in this thing. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. And I was just really humbled by that. And it was literally, I know that the Lord used her to speak to me because this was something I'd already been struggling with, knowing that I needed to make some changes. And the other really cool thing is let me just go off the record here, but you guys know we will be getting a land and a retreat, and I'm going to be doing retreat, like a location to host retreats. I know that this is the plan God has for me. I'm going to continue to grow my Beachbody team with us because of this. I'm going to be able to share Jesus with a lot of women. I'm going to be able to help women find breakthrough in their life, creating some self-discipline. And I know that this is coming, right? So I knew that the stuff in my house is really temporary. Like I look around and the more I've known my vision for my life, I look around at these things in my home right now that makes it my home. And I know that this stuff is not going to be with us forever. It's not going to be with us for very long. Actually, it's not, there's going to come a time in a short time that I'm not even going to need these couches anymore. I'm not even going to need a lot of these things in my house anymore because I know where we're going. And so what God did is use Terry to basically say, what do you need? What can you get rid of? What can you do for me right now that will honor me with the vision that you have? So for instance, do I need 100 pots and pans? Do I need 100 Pyrex dishes? Do I need 100 pairs of clothes, 100 pairs of shoes? If I know that I'm going to a ranch one day to minister to families? No, the answer is no. Is there a lot of stuff in my house right now that I don't need to do what my future is holding? The answer is I don't. And so we hold on to these material things. We hold on to these things we've worked hard for. But where my heart is today, basically, I feel like I don't need a lot of these things. And I'm willing to give them away, donate. I'm willing to trash a lot of things. I'm willing to sell a lot of my items in my home, knowing that the Lord is going to replace all of that tenfold. I'm decluttering and cleaning out my house right now. I'm in the process. I finished out my kitchen because I know that the Lord's going to replace all of it in an unimaginable way. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. But I put the pieces together because I feel like you can't just say, I'm going to declutter because I know I need to declutter. I'm going to clean up because I know I need to clean up. Like, I feel like you can't just say that. I've tried. It don't work. I needed a bigger vision, a bigger plan, a bigger reason why. So I know where I'm headed. And so first of all, you got to know where you're headed. And I tell you that, guys, this all the time. You've got to know where you're headed because you can't. I was this way. Think about it. While I was in healthcare, I didn't really have a clear vision. It wasn't until about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that I finally had this vision. I don't even think it was that long. I knew God wanted to do something really special with Beachbody, really special with me in ministry, but I did not know what. And so finally, the ranch and the land and this, and even more recently, it's going to be these boot camp style retreats. Not all just fitness, but I'm talking about breakthroughs mentally, spiritually. All that's going to go down on in this retreat. But it wasn't until I saw this vision. I asked God, please show me. I was up every morning in scripture asking him, what is it that you're wanting me to do, God? I need you to be clear with me. So when I asked him every day, day in and day out, he started using other people like Terry, like my friend Amber, success partner Amber, other people to start breathing fresh, like life into me and saying, what is possible? What do you really want? What would be most ideal for you? And then the Lord started showing me this vision. And so I'm telling you, it's going to be really hard to declutter your life if you don't have a vision, if you don't know where you're going. Not only a big vision so that you have purpose behind getting rid of things. You're probably hanging on to things and you don't even know why you're hanging on to them. You don't even know why you have them. I literally had 2 blenders, all these things that for hosting parties. We used to host a lot of parties before the kids, and I love entertaining. And that's another gift that God gave me. I love to host people, love on people. That's what this retreat is going to allow me to do. Think about that. Like, that is a gift that I've had for a long time, and I didn't know what that was going to look like. I knew like we weren't going to be able to host Halloween parties every year for 20 years. So what was God going to do with that? Well, I'm getting rid of all that party stuff because I know that God's going to give me a big place to host big parties, big gatherings for people. So think of it that way. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm hoping that makes sense. But like, it was so easy for me to say, here, I'm going to sell this stuff to somebody else so they can use it, knowing that God's going to replace that at some point for me to be able to host and have women, bring people together in a different way. So maybe clothes. Maybe you're holding on to clothes or shoes or whatever it may be. So You have to have a big vision for why you need to declutter your life. And think about it, when you come home and your kitchen's a mess and that's the first thing you walk into, or your living room's a mess and that's the first thing you walk into, how does that make you feel? Oh my gosh, it makes me feel scattered, and it makes me feel anxious and overwhelmed. And so I feel that all the time. If there's things that are just cluttered and disgusting, I feel that way. And so that's where this came from. Terry's book, highly recommend you guys get it, because she shares with you her story and where this came from, and how she believes that when you start decluttering your life and you're willing to give up things and clean up and take responsibility and be empowered to be excellent, you're preparing yourself for a promotion. You're preparing yourself for something bigger in your life. And how amazing is that? How amazing is that? And so I just wanted to share with you a couple of tips that she gave in her book, just to kind of give you an idea and also to help a little bit. Basically, she says outer order in our life, outer order brings inner calmness. Outer order in our life brings inner calmness. So that's really powerful, right? Because it's so true. So here are a few steps that she recommends. Actually, she got these from like top organizers and designers and people who help other people. So they're not necessarily her tips, but she gave them and I love them. And so I'm going to share them. So tip number one is you have to have a plan. What I say, we had to have a vision, a big vision, but we also have to have a vision for our decluttering, right? So she recommends getting a piece of paper, and I'm going to get out another one of her little things that came. I bought her kit. Sorry. Okay, I bought her kit, and the kit includes this little book, this little workbook. And she recommends going through each room of your house and writing down what room it is and what you want to do in each of those rooms before you even get started. So you stand in your kitchen and say, okay, my kitchen, it's a mess. I need to sweep the floors, I need to mop the floors, I need to wash the floors, I need to clean the microwave, clean the dishes in the sink, wipe off the counters, literally everything you need to do. That's kind of a daunting task, I get it. But she's saying before anything, you go and you write a vision for all of your rooms, for your bedroom, for your closet, for the bathrooms, for anything. How do you want it to look and feel when you're done? So then you have a plan. Just like I have a scripture reading and writing plan every morning. I write it for the whole month. Just like I have a workout plan like you guys do. It's there for you for the whole month. It's done, so you don't have to think. You just go and you take action for that day. And that's exactly what she's saying. So you have a vision and a plan for every single one of your rooms. That's the first thing. You're not cleaning anything. You're not decluttering anything. You're actually making a plan first. That's number one. Number two is you pick a starting place. She recommends picking the room that you are in or you see the most. Your kitchen. That's the most common one that she recommended, and that was the most common for me. When my kitchen is a chaos, I feel chaotic. And so that's the easiest one. So you pick your kitchen. We already made your list. You already know what you need to do. So you start. And then it says, choose, you get out your notebook, you choose the room, and you start working. That's number two. Number three, you already know you're doing the kitchen. So how do you get started with the kitchen? Well, you start with the most visible things first, the floors, the counters. You start clearing off the counters. You start with that first room, the first things you can see first. Number four, so after you've swept and you've mopped and you've done the floors and you're ready to tackle the counters, if there's stuff on the counters, so say there's stuff in your bedroom, on your nightstand, or on your dresser, or in your bathroom on the counter, wherever there's stuff, she says you need to create 4 categories. You already know that you need to create these 4 categories, and basically she says get a bag or a box and have it ready and waiting in every room before you even start cleaning. Have these boxes ready, so that way when you see the counter, you can either trash things, you can gift it, so you're going to put it in the gift box, or you can keep it and then you can sell it. So if you're going to keep it, then you can set it aside. You still need to set it aside because you got to clean off the counter, right? So you set it aside. So then number 5, it is, what do you do after that? So after you said, okay, I'm going to sell this stuff, I'm going to trash this stuff. Then I'm going to keep this. What do you do with the keep pile? And basically what she says is that you need to designate a place for all of those keep items, because the way things get cluttered over time is things just get thrown somewhere because they don't have a place. And then they just get cluttered and cluttered and more cluttered and more cluttered. For instance, things like mail. Instead of piling it all up, where does it go? Do you have a little box, or do you have a little something or place that you can put it until you have time to go through it? Your shoes, do they have a designated place in your closet? Your clothes, anything. What did she say? Gosh, I wrote down a better list. Let me find this better list. Oh, yes. Okay. Pins, there's all these things that you can, you need a place for. You've got to designate a place. You have to designate a place for everything. So instead of just putting it back up on the counter, you have to know that that's the place that it's supposed to go on the counter. So for instance, if you have people coming over and you're in your kitchen and they're helping you clean up and they say, where does this go? You need to be able to say, it goes right there. That's where it goes. It has a place. In your bathroom, you need to know, okay, my makeup, it doesn't sit on the counter all week long. It has a place. It goes somewhere. It goes somewhere. So you have to have a designated place. Okay, and then number 6. Well, I don't know if this this should have gone somewhere else, I feel like. Set a timer. Basically, okay, you're ready. You're looking at your kitchen. You have your list. You're going to start with the things you can see first, the floor. You have your boxes set out, and you know that you're ready to go. Then you just set a timer for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. That's it. 20 minutes. And you go. And you are going for excellence. So she said, not only you're going to clean the floors, not only you're going to clean the countertops, not only you're going to get rid of things, move things, find a place for everything, but then you're going to make it look excellent. And she says for her, that means that you're going to dust in the places that you don't really want to dust. You're going to move things over a little bit to make them look great. And then you're going to light a candle. Then you're going to put in an air freshener. You're going to do something that when you can walk out of the room and walk back in, you literally have this inner calmness, this inner peace for this excellence that you've just created. So basically, that's the steps that you need to take to declutter. I love those steps. I love those steps. So I hope that was helpful. I just thought, you know what? This is something I'm learning, and I feel like we all can improve on. And I want you to do me a favor. I want you to do this with me. I'm not saying you have to get the book. I'm not saying you have to do your whole house. But I'm saying that before the end of this week, I want you to either decide on one room that you're going to do this with, or I want you to make it a priority for next week. There's only a couple more days in this week, so I can understand if you can't do it. But literally, it only took me 20 minutes to purge out the majority of my kitchen and my laundry room, and you would not believe the stuff that I'm able to get rid of because I haven't used it. And she gave that as a rule. If you haven't used it in 12 months, you need to get rid of it. If you have not bought, if you're buying something new, get rid of something old. Don't keep adding to your closet. Don't keep adding to your kitchen. Don't keep adding to your house unless you've gotten rid of something. So if you haven't used it in 12 months, get rid of it. If it's broken, if it's something, get rid of it. If you can go through your mail within 30 seconds, do it now. If you can clean out the dishes and put them away within 20 seconds, do it now. Those are the rules that she's recommending to go by. Just do it now, because that lessens what you have to do later. And I'm so guilty of these things, so guilty. I am one that's like, last month, I even got to where I was like, I'm just leaving the dishes in the sink, and I have more energy in the morning. I'll do them in the morning. But it just carries on that chaos for the whole day, the rest of the evening, and at night. And then I'll wake up and like, oh, I don't want to do that. It's not a good habit it's not good habits to have, because we're going for an inner peace, right? That's what we're going for, is inner peace, inner organization. That's what we're going for. And if we choose to be lazy and say, I'm not going to do that, then we are going to have chaos. We're not going to have peace. So do me a favor, join me, at least pick one room and just try this. Just try it and see what happens. I promise it'll make a big difference. It has for me. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. This feels good. And I'm going to be able to use the money that we're earning to go towards writing my book, to go towards paying off my car, which we're going to be working diligently towards the next couple of months. Like, there's really awesome benefits to doing things like this. A peace of mind, cash in your pocket. I mean, hello. So, okay, guys, thanks for listening. Please let me know that you watched by commenting below the video of what room you've decided you are going to do. And I'm here for you. If you need anything, let me know. Love you guys.